From the very first moments of life, a newborn enters a world that is overwhelmingly new, full of light, sound, touch, and smell. Among all the sensory experiences that greet a baby at birth, the sense of smell may be one of the most powerful and underappreciated. Research in developmental psychology and neuroscience has increasingly shown that newborns are not passive recipients of sensory input. They are active, capable beings who can recognize and respond to specific scents, most importantly, the scent of their own mother. This essay explores the science behind newborns' olfactory abilities, what research tells us about their capacity to identify maternal scent, and why this capability matters for bonding and development. The human sense of smell, or olfaction, is one of the most evolutionarily ancient sensory systems. In humans, olfactory receptors begin developing in the fetus as early as the 7th week of gestation. By the 2nd trimester, the fetus is already surrounded by amniotic fluid that carries chemical signals from the mother's body, including compounds influenced by her diet, hormones, and personal biochemistry. Studies have shown that fetuses actively inhale and swallow amniotic fluid throughout pregnancy, exposing their developing olfactory system to these maternal scent signatures long before birth. This prenatal exposure appears to prime the newborn's brain to recognize the mother's scent at birth. A landmark study by Aidan McFarlane in 1975 demonstrated that babies as young as 6 days old consistently turned their heads toward a pad soaked with their own mother's breast milk rather than toward a pad soaked with another woman's milk. This simple but elegant experiment revealed that newborns could already distinguish maternal olfactory cues with remarkable accuracy. Subsequent research has replicated and expanded these findings, confirming that newborns show a consistent preference for their mother's unique chemical signature. The mechanism behind this ability is rooted in the olfactory system's direct connection to the limbic system, the part of the brain responsible for emotion and memory. Unlike other sensory systems, smell bypasses the thalamus and travels directly to the amygdala and hippocampus, regions associated with emotional processing and memory formation. This neural architecture means that scent-based recognition can be both immediate and emotionally powerful. For a newborn, this translates into a rapid association between the mother's smell and feelings of comfort, warmth, and safety. Beyond breast milk, research has shown that newborns also recognize the scent of their mother's skin. A study published in the journal Chemical Senses found that newborns placed between 2 breast pads, one from their own mother and one from a stranger, consistently oriented themselves toward their mother's pad. Notably, this preference was observed even in formula-fed infants, indicating that the recognition is not limited to lactation-related compounds, but extends to the general body odor that is unique to each individual. The mother's scent also plays a critical role in calming a distressed newborn. Research has found that exposure to the mother's scent can reduce physiological stress responses in babies, including lowering cortisol levels and reducing heart rate variability. When a newborn smells their mother, they show measurable signs of relaxation. Their crying decreases, their movements become less agitated, and their sleep can become more restful. This calming effect underscores the biological importance of olfactory bonding between mother and child. Interestingly, the recognition appears to be mutual. Mothers, too, can identify their newborns by scent alone with remarkable accuracy. In studies where mothers were asked to smell t-shirts worn by various infants, most could correctly identify the garment belonging to their own baby. This bidirectional olfactory recognition suggests that scent-based bonding is not a one-way street. It is an active, reciprocal process that helps establish the parent-child relationship from the earliest moments of life. From an evolutionary perspective, this scent recognition system makes considerable sense. In our ancestral environment, a newborn's ability to locate and orient toward the mother's scent could be a matter of survival. It would help the infant find the breast for feeding, stay close to the primary caregiver, and signal distress when separated. The consistency of these behaviors across cultures and species Similar olfactory bonding mechanisms have been observed in rodents, sheep, and primates, suggests that this is a deeply conserved biological trait rather than a culturally learned behavior. Modern parenting practices increasingly recognize the importance of early scent-based bonding. Skin-to-skin contact, commonly known as kangaroo care, allows newborns to be exposed to the mother's natural scent while also benefiting from body warmth and the sound of the heartbeat. Hospitals around the world now encourage immediate skin-to-skin contact after birth precisely because of the multisensory bonding it promotes. Parents who must be temporarily separated from their newborns, for instance in cases of premature birth, are sometimes advised to leave a worn garment near the baby's incubator so that the familiar scent can provide comfort. In conclusion, the evidence is clear and compelling. Newborns are remarkably capable of distinguishing their mother's scent, and they use this ability to orient toward her, seek comfort, and begin the lifelong process of attachment. This capacity is not a learned skill, but a biological inheritance shaped by millions of years of evolution and months of prenatal sensory experience. Far from being fragile and passive, the newborn brain is already hardwired to seek connection, and it begins with something as simple and as profound as a mother's smell.